So today I'm going to talk a little bit about my journey about scaling AI to 15 plus agents. We're starting Cloud Code. Some of the challenges we have there scaling, of course, is that terminal 15, 16, whatever. You lose track, you don't know what's going on. And so the next part of the journey, for me at least, was you can have GitHub. And you say, great, I can now go to all my tickets and start agents rapid fire. That's great. What you lose here, though, is the control. Like my prompt is the only way that I can actually dial it in. I don't have like hooks or anything beyond what's already hard-coded into this app cloud, right? So what I started building, have built here, is, this is a very basic structure here, but taking linear, my task manager, and I have a harness, agent harness server that is taking a JSON payload, making some decisions around that payload, and then starting a VM or connecting to a VM that's dedicated to that ticket, and then the user now can actually go back and forth with the agent until it's done. This is like a very, very high level. To dig in just one layer deep, we're saying, like, what is this harness actually doing? Well, it's looking at the metadata coming in from that JSON payload and saying, like, what kind of agent should I run? Or what kind of output does this user want from this, right? And so it says, okay, ticket status is planning. I'm going to trigger the planning agent. And that's going to give me some plans and attach it to the ticket, and they can view it, and then they're going to go to the next level, right? Same thing for QA. QA is going to give me some videos, evidence, but like, hey, did you actually run the thing? And then we do one more layer. Is like you start stacking this metadata on top of each other, and now you have ultra power, right? It's like it's a planning, but it's also a feature, a ticket type. I can change that ticket type to bug and planning, and that's a completely different output than it's going to be, or maybe not a completely output, but a completely different process, right? So bugs, we're going to do more source code lookup. Feature, we're going to do some more research and things like that. So we have complete control over which pipeline and agents are running. That's just a high overview here. Let's just take a look at what it looks like here. This is linear here. The most important part is on the right-hand side. This is my ticket status. So I'm in planning now. I can say, okay, great. I've reviewed the documents here. If you see the plans in the bottom here, I can open those up, review them, and then say, I'm now going to go in progress. And we'll see the agent here is now picking it up, and we'll see it work. I'll just show you kind of what it did earlier. So you get the full thought process here, what's going on, starting the planning agent, and all that stuff there. And then, yeah, so the real power here for linear at least is like, I can add these other metadata fields, like which runner do I want to use, what tools do I want to engage, and you can imagine all kinds of metadata here that really help you dial in what output you're going to get from that agent. And we'll just take a quick look at what that looks like. So this agent harness is looking at a bunch of YAML files, and it's kind of like GitHub Actions, right? It says, hey, if there's a feature and it's in the planning state, then why don't you launch the planning agent? And there's this like idea that you can launch this on its own VM. You can launch it on any of these other services, or even in the task folder that is just on the machine. And then if we dial into the planning agent itself, this looks like a sub agent, but it's not. It's actually a full agent that's going to get pushed into the Cloud Agent SDK and run on its run there. So like, where's the working directory? What hooks do I want? There's all these like pre and post conditions I can add here, and then we have the user prompt here that is driving the output again, right? So for QA, I'm going to get a lot of video evidence. For planning, I'm going to get a lot of documents. Obviously, for code, I'm going to get a PR and stuff like that. So we have extra time here. We can look at loops here. So this
1 minute.
Oh, wow. I've timed myself a lot. I thought we were way over by now. In this case, this is a loop. So the feature QA is my most complicated one so far. It's like there's a QA agent down here that does the first pass. That moves up to a coder. There's like a sidekick that says, hey, the QA failed all these things, so we got to go fix it. And then a few people mentioned, like, is it actually doing it? But there's this evidence verifier as well that's going through and saying, like, are there logs behind this? Are there videos produced? And things like that. So you can really dial in again, like, what's going on here. That's pretty much it.